Hello again, everybody. Rocket Rick J18 with you today to share some recent pickups from two of my favorite sets, neither of which have I completed, and only one of which I think actually have a realistic chance of completing it. So here they are. We're going to talk about the 1952 top sets, which I am working on. I have about 135 cards, maybe, out of the 407 cards in the set. So, you know, a little better than 30%, I guess. The cards that I've acquired are all between the numbers of 29 and 112, and all but two of those cards are in the first 80 cards. Now, the first 80 cards in the set are have some special significance because they came in both red and black variations. All of the cards that I'm going to show you today are of the black variation variety, and I'm just going to show you real quick an example of each. So if you haven't looked at these cards very carefully, you'll get an idea really quickly. Here's an example of a red back card. This is number 112, which is one of the two cards that is not numbered 80 or less. And then the next card that I'm going to show you is within that category of 29 through 80, and it is card number 77 of Robert Daniel Kennedy. He's an outfielder for the Indians, not the former senator from New York. So here's in the black variation. So I'm going to show you that real quickly, and then we're going to look at the rest of the cards from these pickups, then we're going to look at another set, which I'm working on, which is the 1949 Bowman set. So here's card number 29. It's Ted Kluszewski, showing off his all-natural muscles. Ted was a player throughout the 50s and early 60s on the Reds. Then later he was with the Pirates and also with the Chicago White Sox during their pennant-winning year of 1959. And he might have played with a few other teams along the way too. But he was a big, strong man, hit some home runs, and liked to show off his muscles by trimming the sleeves of his uniform shirts. When he was with the Reds, of course, they had, a little later on in this photograph, they had the uniforms with the sleeveless top over a long sleeve or three-quarter length sleeve shirt. And he would wear that to get his picture taken without the three-quarter length sleeve shirts underneath the sleeveless vest, and he liked that sleeveless vest look. All of these cards you may be able to notice have little pinholes in them, and I don't know if you can really see. It's right about here, if you could see that right about here. So they all have pinholes in them, probably thumbtack holes if I had to guess, where they were, you know, put on a cork board or something of that nature. So that's Ted Kluszewski. The next card I have is a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, Mel Parnell. He was probably their staff ace. Consistent, won quite a few games, especially in that 1949 season when the pennant went down to the wire, and with the Yankees winning the final 2 games of the season against the Red Sox to win the pennant by 1 game in 1949. They also lost a 1-game playoff to the Cleveland Indians the year before, 1948, and as a result, you can say the Red Sox finished a grand total of 1 game out of first place in 2 consecutive seasons and didn't go to the World Series either year. Really bad luck. So that's Mel Parnell. Here's Gus Zernial for the Athletics. I think that I'd love to know the story behind this picture. It looks like he's got 5 baseballs glued or nailed or affixed somehow to his bat. And but I don't, and he's holding up, you know, his other hand in the OK symbol or 0 symbol, and I don't know the story behind it. But if you do know the story behind it, leave a comment and let me in on it too. Thanks. Next card is number 34, Elmer Valo or Valo, an outfielder for the Philadelphia Athletics. Number 34. Number 35 is Hank Sauer, also an outfielder for the Chicago Cubs, and that's card number 35. Card number 41 is Bob Wellman, also for the Philadelphia Athletics. Card number 44 is Con Dempsey, a pitcher for the Phillies, the Fightin' Phillies. That really is the name of their Double-A, still today, the Double-A minor league franchise for the Phillies. They're out of Reading, Pennsylvania. Card number 45 is Eddie Joost, another member of the Athletics. Played shortstop for the A's. Another one of the Whiz Kids, Willie Pudd'nhead Jones. I guess evoking the Mark Twain novel of Pudd'nhead Wilson. But Willie was one of the players on the Whiz Kids pennant-winning team in 1950. Here's a pitcher for the Yankees, Johnny Sain, who's also part of the Boston Braves staff in '48 when they won the pennant. And their mantra that year was Spahn and Sane and A Day of Rain. That was their pitching rotation. Kind of clever. Johnny Sane also became a pitching coach for the Yankees especially, and Whitey Ford attributed his coaching to his really great year of 1961 when he won 25 games against 3 losses. Card number 50 is an outfielder for the Chicago White Sox. Marvin Rickert, card number 50. Here's a guy who was a pretty good outfielder for the Giants. He played right field with his more well-known outfield members of Willie Mays and Monty Irvin in center field and left field, respectively. But Don Mueller was a pretty good hitter, pretty good outfielder. Card number 54 is Leo Kiley, or Keeley, I'm not sure exactly how that's pronounced. A Red Sox pitcher. Here's the first generation of the Boone family. Ray Boone, the father of the Phillies catcher later on, Phillies catcher Bob Boone, and grandfather of Brett Boone and Aaron Boone. And I think there was one other brother, maybe Adam. I'm not quite sure, but I think there were actually 3 of his grandsons that had at least a cup of coffee in the majors. Pretty rare to go that deep in one family. Lots of brothers, lots of fathers and sons, but not too many grandfathers. Card number 55. Card number 56 is an infielder for the St. Louis Cardinals, Thomas Glaviano. Card number 57 is a stalwart member of the Yankee rotation during the late 40s and early 50s, Ed Lopat, and a personal favorite of Vintage Sanctuary. He likes Ed Lopat a lot. I like Ed Lopat a lot. Didn't throw very hard, but pretty successful pitcher. Card number 61 is Harold Gilbert, first baseman for the New York Giants, a first baseman. Tukey Gilbert, as you can see, his nickname. This guy, Roy Sievers, came up with the St. Louis Browns, later played for the Washington Senators, and in the 60s played for the Phillies, played first base. He was a Rookie of the Year, I believe, in 1952. So, Roy Sievers, card number 64. Here's a Hall of Famer, Enos Slaughter for the St. Louis Cardinals. A little bit later in his career, he played for the Yankees. He was most famous for his mad dash, I think in the 1946 World Series, where he scored from first base, running through a stop sign by his third base coach, trying to get him to stop, but instead he raced home and scored the game-winning run. Enos Slaughter, Country Slaughter. Here's another guy who was a great member of the Yankee pitching rotation throughout the late 40s and early 50s. Allie Reynolds, nicknamed the Chief because of his Native American heritage. This is a pitcher for the Cardinals, Cliff Chambers, card number 68. This is a shortstop for the Cincinnati Reds, Virgil Stahl Cup, card number 69. There's one of the Giants catchers, journeyman player, Wes Westrum. Really, you'll see his cards throughout the 50s. Probably back into the 40s as well. Wes Westrum, card number 75. Card number 76 is Eddie the Brat Stanky. Not one of the most popular players for the other, according to the other teams. He was be a little hard to get along with, and he had some brief stints as manager after his playing career, and not too terribly successful as a manager. Eddie Stanky. And the last card of these black-backed cards is Robert Daniel Kennedy, card number 77. Kennedy was an outfielder for the Cleveland Indians. And the two red back cards that I showed you earlier, the backs of them, card number 110 is Dutch Leonard, a pitcher for the Chicago Cubs, Dutch Leonard. And card number 112 is a third baseman for the Philadelphia Athletics, Hank Majeski. Card number 112. The next 6 cards that I'm going to show you are from the 1949 Bowman set. And these pickups get me down into single digits towards completion of that set. The first card is Sid Gordon, card number 101, who was third baseman for the Pirates in 1949. The next card is Vic Wertz, a outfielder for the Cleveland Indians, well, Detroit Tigers in this picture, but more famously known as an outfielder for the Cleveland Indians. He is the guy who hit the ball that Willie Mays caught in the 1954 World Series, Game 1. And the play that's simply known as the catch. So this is the guy that hit the ball. Willie couldn't have done it without him. Card number 194, Ralph Branca. He got some notoriety later on for being the pitcher who gave up the home run, the shot heard around the world, Bobby Thompson's home run in the third game of the playoffs between the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Giants, 1951. They actually got to be pretty good friends on the baseball card autograph signing circuit. They've signed a lot of baseballs together, a lot of photographs. There's a great picture of Ralph Branca in the dugout, just kind of half laying, half standing, just a dejected look at you might imagine. But he got over it, and pretty nice fella from all accounts. Card number 231 is Earl Johnson for the Red Sox. Then the high number, last 10 cards of the set. Another one of those last 10 cards is Fred Sanford, not the same guy that was later on TV in the TV show Sanford and Son, but has the same name. So he was a pitcher for the Yankees in the late 40s, early 50s. Fred Sanford. And finally, another Hall of Famer, card number 238. This is the rookie card of the great Indian pitcher Bob Lemon, and later in after his playing days, also a manager. One of the many guys that managed for George Steinbrenner with the Yankees. Probably didn't get treated as well as he should have. George is pretty rough on managers. Card number 238, Bob Lemon. Then I've got just a couple more random pickups. One of them is from my effort to acquire some rookie cards of people that I think maybe should be in the Hall of Fame, and others maybe think so too. Although clearly not enough so far, but hope springs eternal. Here's the rookie card of Dick Allen, and with the Phillies in 1964. He was the Rookie of the Year that year with the Phillies, and then later on with the White Sox, I believe it was 1972, he won the Most Valuable Player Award. Awesome, strong hitter. I mean, just crushed the ball. And as Bob Prince used to say, he swung a wagon tongue for a baseball bat. I mean, just a huge, heavy thing. But he was strong. He could get it around. So that's says Richie Allen on here, and the story there, of course, is that he was known throughout his youth as Dick Allen. Grew up in Wampum, Pennsylvania, which is out in western PA. So for some reason, the sports writers called him Richie Allen. One day he said, "Look, my name's Dick Allen, and I prefer you to call me by that being my name." So some people didn't go along with it, but I think he deserved to be called what he was known as, the name he was known as. So that's Dick Allen. And this is an interesting card. It's it's a reprint, I guess you'd say. ACEO does these, and this is an advertisement for a card reprinting an advertisement from Old Gold cigarettes. And the back side of it looks like this. Kind of a pretty nice looking card. Didn't cost but $1 or $2, and I just liked the way it looked, so here it is. That's what I have for you today, and I'll be back later with another video taking a more in-depth look at my 1950 Bowman set, which is complete. And I'm going to show you those cards here in a separate video. So that's what I have for you today. If you have any comments that you want to, remarks that you'd like to make, please leave them in the comments down below. Also, if you like this kind of video, please please leave some comments. Leave you know, if you like this kind of thing, I'd appreciate you liking the video and subscribing to my channel. And then I'm going to sign off with this being Rocket Rick J18, wishing that all your collecting dreams will come true.